Okay, so let me get the thesis of this. So are you basically getting to the point of like why are you so angry before we start? Like
Just everything that the left has done over the course of my life, me being tricked into being a leftist and supporting blatantly evil things, and then what they're doing in Minneapolis, pulling people out of their cars, stabbing them, accosting people, and they're just being allowed to do it. I do agree. I am a big fan of Trump holding off on the Insurrection Act because I want it. I don't want things to get worse, but I do think they have to escalate to a point to do something so severe. But now that this has happened, now that these communists, with Don Lemon's help, and Don Lemon is a gay race communist, invaded a church with people just trying. I'm not even a Protestant. But invading a church where people are trying to pray to God, screaming, holding up the black fist of power, making children cry, seeing them flee. We'll see later. Don Lemon talks about how the children are scared and they basically should be scared because protest is about making people uncomfortable. Reminder. Communism is when ugly, deformed freaks make it illegal to be normal and then rob and or kill all successful people out of petty resentment and cruelty. The ideology is all just window dressing. And that's really all it is. That's all. They're just ugly, depraved freaks on the inside and out who are angry that they think something has been stolen from them. And they're even willing to interrupt Sunday church to try to get their message across and antagonize people that are just trying to pray to God. I almost didn't want to do this episode because I'm so angry. All I want to do is constantly break YouTube's terms of service.
All right. And with that, it is Monday, January 19th, 2026. This is episode 11 of a Limiting Principle podcast.
Woo! Some people might say Happy Martin Luther King Day. However, I would say we're all celebrating Robert E. Lee's birthday.
I didn't. Things I didn't know. I as a history teacher, I have to say I am god awful when it comes to dates and stuff like that. The only thing that I know, the only important date is September 17th. I share that birthday with the U.S. Constitution. But yeah,
that's nice. That's based.
Wait, what a start. Okay, I see.
I knew this before, but I forgot. And I saw somebody post today about how it's Robert E. Lee's birthday. I don't really care about that, but I do think that his punishment, every single statue of any black person that has achieved anything throughout the history of the United States should be taken down, and we should just put Confederate statues in this place. I think it's a proper punishment. Like, we just need no representation for any minority person.
Punishment for who?
For every black person, 90% or so of them voting the left. They deserve to be punished at this point. I'm telling you, I'm over the edge.
Oh my God, you are definitely angry this today. Oh my God,
I don't actually think that should happen, but I'm sick of. Okay, so whites are the majority for now in the United States. They've been labeled domestic terrorists. It's not only are white people discriminated against openly, but it's celebrated. They changed the definition of racism. Anyone that enjoys America and its founding is labeled a white supremacist. Like, the fact that white people haven't just been like, all right, well, that's enough. I don't understand how they haven't gotten to that point. It just speaks to the character of like white Christians in the country. And obviously there's lots of good people all over the place, all skin colors, all religions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But like, they've been targeted by all of the institutions in such a specific way that, like, if imagine, I don't know. I just can't. I tell you, I'm at a loss for words.
Here's the thing. So okay. So let's narrow the focus of this, because we started off really fucking.
Wait, hold on. Let me scream into this pillow.
Robert E. Lee thing.
Let me scream into this pillow. Okay, I'm fine now. Renee good. Renee good. Renee good. I love that they're still using the hands up, don't shoot thing, even though it was conclusively proven that Michael Brown was a giant retarded savage, that it was a completely justified shooting. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Jacob Blake, Michael Brown, George Floyd, all of these like martyrs.
Bro, didn't he charge at the police car and freaking just punch the cop so hard that his freaking orbital socket broke?
And this is after he strong-armed a little tiny old person or something to like steal some cigarettes or cigars or something like that.
But he definitely, I think I remember it was he went to the convenience store and he stole something or whatever. And
he if you saw the video is horrible. He like physically, Michael Brown was a gigantic monster of a man, and he like physically intimidated this much weaker person. It's disgusting. I once talked to a mainstream liberal that has a business, has a family, a wonderful house, the most normal guy you'd ever think. I proved to him that the Michael Brown thing was fake and that it was a justified shooting, and he said that it's still good that people think that he was murdered because it's good for his cause. This is a normal, supposedly normal person who, if he like was to participate in a protest, he'd be horrified by what the leftists are doing. But this is supposedly a normal person. Anyways, let's continue. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are your people? Why are you not at Whipple every day fighting for the humanity, standing for our people? Where are you? You drink your coffee, you got your jewelry, you have your nice clothes, but what do you do? What? I would have snapped.
Oh my God.
I would have.
Oh my God. I'm fanning myself right now with my hand. This is the point you start. Oh my gosh. You should not commit violence in a house of God, but this is why you should have security. And if oh my God, this is not proper. This is not okay. This is that man should have slapped that person.
Oh, don't worry. We find out the guy who's screaming at him. Have you seen him yet? We find out one of the most dysgenic looking people you'll ever see.
Today, this episode, I'm the retard. You're gonna have to guide me through this. I've seen
we'll see him in a little bit. Hold on, let's continue.
What do you do to stand for your Somali and Latino communities? I'm not gonna comment. You have no comment. Exactly. Renee good.
It's actually really funny that they're saying say her name, because the black community or the black populace has come out overwhelmingly and saying that say her name is specifically for black women and you can't use it for white women.
Renee good. Freedom. We have a duty to win. We must love and support one another. All these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit as a preacher. Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words? No, Jesus would die with immigrants. You do not touch me. Touch me again and see what happens. Hey, you can't. You are a fake Christian. Why are you not standing with your Somali and Latino communities? Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity? Where are you? You're sinners. You're pretending to be Christians. But we know you live an easy life, don't you? A very easy life.
I mean, yeah, they're Christians and they think that everyone's a sinner, but...
While people are starving. Shame. Out now. Out now. Living real comfortable while the people starve. Living real comfortable while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're all living real comfortable, aren't you? Shame on you. Do something. Stand with the Somalis. Stand with the Latinos. Quit ignoring this injustice.
Oh my God.
Okay,
hold on.
He hangs out with Christians.
Oh my God. Shut the fuck up, you white homeless person. As a Latino, I'm going to weaponize my Latino-ness. I voted for this. Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing about Hispanic immigration. Do you know why we left? because of the criminals and the shitty people there. There's a reason that stereotypes exist. What is a stereotype for Hispanics? That we're fucking thieves, that we take things and steal things, that we commit fraud. Hey, do you know why hurricane insurance is so expensive in South Florida? Because of Hurricane Andrew. Because every single person in my neighborhood was like, my house is half wrecked. You know what? I have an idea. Let me wreck the whole thing. And then you can say, I know you can say, oh, well, it's a human thing to do that. Yeah, it is. It is a human thing, but it's also fucked up because a lot of these Cubans, a lot of these Hispanic people came here as when they were young, or they were young, or their parents were young, and maybe they have some forethought and they could think, oh, maybe I shouldn't commit fraud because that's what fucked up my country, my original country, and now I fled here, and I'm going to do the same thing that messed up my own country. Don't bring your Cuba here. Don't bring your shitty, bad behavior to this country. That's the point.
And the thing is, this guy doesn't actually care about Somalians. He doesn't care about any of these people. It's just a shithead communist who just wants a revolution. That's all he is. He's nothing more.
Someone who wants to break the system because he's bored. There's a problem in many countries with either an overpopulation of men outnumbering women, such as I would imagine India has this problem. Definitely China has this problem because still we have the after effects of the one-child policy. Or we have men that are bored because they're addicted to porn, or they have there's nothing to explore. There's nothing to do anymore except work your shitty 9-to-5 retail job or something like that. So
that's a big thing. There's plenty to do and plenty to explore.
If you have a group of idle men in a country, that cancer is going to turn into something disgusting.
I know. I get it, but like them being idle, they've done this to themselves. Like there's plenty.
No, I know. I'm not saying a reason why. I don't care about that. I'm just making an observation.
Yeah, but I mean, again, he's just an ugly, deformed freak. That wants to make it illegal to rob and or kill successful people. Ideology is just window dressing. That's all it is. That's all that is all communism is.
What these people do is they look at these nice couples, or these people who are dressed up and looking nice, and they see their former bullies. They see the people who bullied them when they were in grade school, and they think, oh well, I can take it out on someone who looks just like them. The problem, it's so funny that these people are doing the same things that propagate, lineage on lineage warfare that can transcend generations. Like fuck these people.
Well, speaking of fuck these people,
what do you think of this? I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship.
But there were folks who will.
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me though.
We're here.
He gently placed his hand on him and he's saying that he's pushing him.
We're here to worship Jesus. Yes. That's why we're here. Okay, that's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them as a
no
Christian?
one is willing to talk.
Okay,
I have to take care of my church and my family, so I ask that you actually would also leave this building.
You don't want us to
unless you're here to worship. Unless you're here to worship.
I'm always worship. I'm a Christian.
We're here to worship. We're here to worship. Okay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
He's not a Christian at all. A Christian would never do this. He's just a gay race communist. It's honestly like the majority of the black people that call them Christian, I actually don't think they're Christians because they operate based on black identitarian metaphysics and do not operate based off of Christian metaphysics. So I don't think the majority of black people in the country who say they're Christians are actually. I'd say the same thing about a white identitarian or a progressive who calls themselves.
I'm getting so angry at this because leftists, these shit libs. Oh my god, I hate them so much. Oh well, I have a right to protest. Then they're like, oh, I can do it unlimitedly. I can set things on fire. Fiery, but mostly peaceful protests. Yeah, like, oh my god, these people are the ones who. What was his name? Oh my god, who was the guy who asked? Oh well, what does it say that we have to protest peacefully? Oh god.
It wasn't Don.
Cuomo, wasn't it?
No. Oh yeah, it was Cuomo. It was Cuomo.
Cuomo, one of the inferior Cuomo brother.
Well,
he
I
was,
don't know. They're both pretty terrible, but yeah.
no, God, I forgot the freaking nickname that he had. Fredo, yeah, oh yeah, because he's the baby. He could never get into politics, so he just reports on things. So,
I mean, at least he's not responsible for killing thousands
these
of
people like, and don't talk to me about Cuomo because saying base things like "fuck that guy" for everything. Done. He's never apologized for anything. And people like, here's a message to people like Patrick Bet David. I don't know what the hell you see in this Cuomo person. Yeah, he can be a nice person, whatever, but you have to think about this. He comes from a family of people who are snakes and who do this thing and who are probably charismatic. And so, yeah, he might treat your kid nice, but what's his end goal? Probably to use you in some way.
Yep.
Anyways.
And then I just posted, being merely white and praying peacefully in your place of worship makes you a white supremacist. And of course, here's Don Lemon talking to the new, completely artificially propped up, horrible, awful, white, liberal, communist woman.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in
all projection, he's one of the most entitled people on the face of the earth, which we'll find out here in a second.
Religious groups like that. It's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them.
Yep. Christians hanging out in a church praying means they're white supremacists. Now, the main reason why they invaded this church, I don't know if it was the guy on screen. One of the pastors is the head of a local ICE precinct in Minneapolis, which is why they specifically targeted this church. But let's hear him.
Is a Christian country when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male, pretty much. And so, yeah, I absolutely.
Just a complete disconnect from all of reality. I mean, like, the majority of these people operate in a constant state of psychosis. They live in a completely false reality that has been created for them. And almost everything they believe in is not real. Almost every single thing.
100%, but it's an intimidation tactic. And, I said, I don't understand how I've become the face of it when I was a journalist. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America. And there's a certain.
Oh my God.
I just
You're
can't.
not that special. There are a lot of gay black dudes. You're not that special. So, like I said, these people are so entitled. By the way, that whole thing was hilarious projection. Oh, you think you can just go you can just go into a church while people are praying and you can have your protest. Like, these people are, like I said, they think they look, oh, I have the right to do this. Therefore, I can do it anywhere. I can do it in front of cars. I can do it in front of a highway. I can do it in front of a school. I can do it wherever. I can do it while I'm on fire, while something else is on fire. I can do it at your mom's house. I can do it in front of a Supreme Court justice. I can do it in front of the White House. I can create an encampment and try to legally break away from the U.S. government. Oh, I have a right to protest. Like, now, fuck these people. I understand, this kind pastor, preacher, whatever you want to call him, this man who has to protect his flock. But you know what? Being a pussy about it is not going to protect your flock. Trying to be nice, trying to be cordial, trying to say, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. No,
he wasn't being a complete pussy. He asked them to leave. He wasn't like being like,
I understand. But you know what? There needs to be righteous anger. There needs to be righteous indignation. I understand why you're so angry, Patrick, because I'm getting upset, because there needs to be people, there needs to be men of God who are like, shut the fuck up. No one cares about your stupid ass protest, and just get out. Yeah. And just, you know what? Security, and just drag this person out and say, I don't fucking care about your I don't care. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to get the state to prosecute you. I'm going to get the city to prosecute you because you just broke laws. Screw you. I'm going to spend the rest of my time destroying you for this.
Yeah, and
People need to just start fighting back in a way so that you're left alone. Because here's the thing about predators. Predators will attack you because you are weak. You know what? You know what the left saw with this church? You know what? We're gonna go in there again. We're gonna do it again because you know what? Fine. And I understand the problem with delusional people is if you were aggressive with them, they'd strike back. But at that point, there needs to be intervention and there needs to be law enforcement. And you know what? Fine. Let's try the James Lindsay tactic. Go. Put the cameras there, see these radical leftists being completely insane, and then they need to be arrested. And period, end of story.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to see later on, there's some stuff coming down the pike. I actually think the Trump administration is going to do something about this. They actually have the law on their side, it appears. The thing is that you do need pastors to be a little fiery and brimstone. Unfortunately, the good ones, the ones that are all about peace and stuff, are not doing that. And so you're having people like Joel Webben step up. I think Joel Webben is an evil man. He advocates for Joel Webben. He's a reformed, I think he's like a Protestant online preacher personality. And I think he's a bad person. He's openly advocated for killing gay people. He said like, oh, stoning them. And then he said, and then he said something along the lines of, oh, well, bullets could be made of stone. And the thing is that as Christians, we should condemn homosexuality. We should not condone it. It should not be celebrated, but like, I'm pretty sure like I could be a violent person if I want to, but I always try to think of what Christ wants us to do. Now, I'm not a toothless Christian. A lot of these Christians are toothless and are just being bullied around. Their religion has been removed from the public square, but I do think that we should try to emulate Jesus. So I feel like we should call gay people to Christianity and for them to give up their sinful ways. But I don't think we should actually kill them. I think that's psychotic and evil. So you're having these evil people step up to be those fire and brimstone preachers. Unfortunately, I don't think that they really have Christ in their heart. To me, it's the ultimate irony that the Democrat project is officially completed, turning black people into the entitled, histrionic, racist, and uppity caricatures the whites and the right have portrayed them as for all of eternity. It's like officially complete. That's the thing, is that you have the only people that receive any sort of press in like the black populace are just specifically black leftists. And so you see that reflected in the black populace. They just play in the race card, and obviously the conservatives are always looked down upon and called Uncle Toms and Coons. I just can't, I don't know. I just can't get over it. As a former leftist who used to be like concerned with like black politics and how black people are portrayed in the country, I'm still concerned just in the opposite way. Like I said, I'm not a white identitarian. I'm very much like, I would live in a majority white neighborhood. There's like a bunch of Mexicans live across the street from me. There's one black guy that lives in the same cul-de-sac as me. I don't care. It's just that if you go to a black neighborhood, it's just going to be higher in crime. So like, I don't consider myself racist, because if like a bunch of black people moved in and crime didn't increase, I'd be like, all right, that's fine. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And I don't know. I mostly blame the left because of their sort of like social engineering project.
So, I mean, what the left is doing is so obvious, because this is something that is done by teachers to students all the time. If you have power, you can push the other side, whomever is against you, you can slowly push them into, okay, what I mean is, in a classroom as a teacher, you can target a student when that student misbehaves, because you can catch any student misbehaving. If they look at another student, you can be like, you were trying to talk, you're in trouble. And if you really just slow down time and just hyper focus on one student or a few students, and you just needle them, you push them into reacting in ways that they're going to regret. And the whole purpose why you do that is because you want the reaction. This is just like when your mom yells at you, and then you get angry. When you were younger, you get angry and you raise your voice, and then your mom's like, stop yelling at me, and just you're grounded. And you just get so angry because you realize, oh man, I got baited into it again. Damn it.
Yeah, exactly.
But what do you do? How do you, but in a classroom, okay, so really students have no way of organizing or being competent enough to do really anything against that unless the teacher is blatantly sloppy or obvious or evil. So now in today's society, in this world where very few people who are white And actually, I would imagine half of white people, just there's no sympathy for white people.
It's like I'll talk about white identity, but I'm not a big fan of framing it solely in that, because it's like you, like I'm not going to exclude you from a podcast or from some kind of movement, because like the left and the right in this game they're playing is just as much of a danger to you as it is to me, and neither of us is a really like strictly identitarian. Hardly at all. I think in our heart of hearts, you and I are pretty much both shit libs. It's just that it's like we've been pushed to the brink of insanity by these people.
Like I wish that people would come to the United States and then think, hey, you know what? It's awesome that a country let me in here and that I can make a better life for myself and my kids if we just, follow the fucking law and stop being fraudsters and pieces of shit. And I get it. Like white people commit crime. I fucking get it. But I don't know. Like if you're a guest in someone's place and then someone lets you, I don't know, like you crash at someone's place and then eventually you become roommates with them and like you live with them for a while. Like you're gonna treat that place like your own home. Like treat the United States like fuck, dude. Maybe I'm just naive and maybe I'm just a retard for not opening up a Somali Learning Center. I don't know. Like I should have just opened up a Hispanic daycare and I don't know.
I don't know.
This is so annoying.
I used to rail against social engineering because one of the main things that I don't like is like people being manipulated, people being taken advantage of. Like I hate it, right? I mean, who likes that except for like sociopathic weirdos? But I do recognize that we do need some type of social engineering. I mean, what is giving a group of people a story based on some sort of shared history other than social engineering? It's just like, what is that story going to be, and how are you going to socially engineer people?
Hey, so I'm going to defend social engineering because I'm a school teacher and that's what I do.
You really do. And
if we didn't have social engineering, I'd be out of a job and have to find something else. And I don't know, like I'm good at being a teacher. Maybe that just speaks to how badly my other skills are. I don't know.
Yeah, but imagine if you did not socially engineer your class, what would you have? It would be chaos, which is what we're right now. Minneapolis is in complete chaos. But you can see, like, imagine if you purposely set out to socially engineer the kids in your class to view themselves as enemies and having completely different versions of reality.
So this is funny. There's this funny thing. We've had problems with students in the bathroom because, they want to flood the sinks with toilet paper. Or they want to throw the toilet paper in and wet it and then throw it in on the ceiling and just do stupid things. So we've had different policies on the bathroom. And then there's one that bathroom doesn't open up for an hour, doesn't open up till 9. And then the students were complaining at the beginning of the school year, and I was like, "Okay, so what are you going to do? Are you just gonna tolerate it? Like, are you gonna have a protest or something? Or are you just gonna walk out of class and just protest in front of the principal's office? Like, what are you actually going to do? And why are you in the position that you're in?
Yeah.
Did you did you laugh when you saw the stupid kid throw something onto the ceiling and then realize, hey, wait a second, the janitor who cleans us up, he's like in his 60s or something like that. Have you considered that? Have you considered the feelings of others? Have you considered that maybe you don't have unlimited rights to everything around you and that there are limits to the things that you should do? Have you ever considered that? Maybe just not being a dick. Maybe you get more privileges then. Maybe try that one.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? I said, what are you going to do? Protest and pay yourselves or something? And then the whole class was like, ew, no, that's disgusting. Oh, of course not. I'm like, yeah, exactly.
I don't know how you fix the problem in the country. Like, how do you bridge the divide between the two different versions of reality that have been created?
So the first thing is, I think there just needs to be an admission that the American just loves to commit crimes. Like we just ignore reality and normality and just say, you know what? I don't know what it is about the dirt, the Mississippi River basin system that covers half the country. Maybe it's something about the South, maybe something about the North, but maybe it's something in the air. I don't know. Just Americans commit a whole fuck ton of crimes.
I mean,
Step one, let's admit. No, hold on. Step one, let's admit that. Step two, then you look at the laws, and you just start putting people in prison.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the whole like restorative justice, like reform process. It's complete failure. There are just a certain percentage of the population that are just always going to be antisocial psychos that are going to get crimes because they can. That's just
here's a crazy idea that I just came up with, and is probably horrible and devastating. And every time you go for a new felony, that you're convicted for a new felony, your sentence is your number of felonies squared.
That's, I mean,
simple.
I remember when I was a leftist.
Done. Very easy. You know what? Like
when I was a leftist, I was very against the 3 strikes policy, but now I'm just like, you know how easy
2 strikes. Fuck that, motherfucker.
Right?
You can't figure out the first time that you probably shouldn't bring a gun and point it at some person's face on the gas station because you want $35. No, 2 strikes.
Do you know how easy it is to just not commit one crime? It's incredibly easy. It is shockingly so. The fact that you're going to commit 3 of the same types of crimes and that's viewed as some sort of injustice because they lock your ass away. At that point, it's like, no, like you've purposely chosen to be antisocial and these are the consequences.
So here's the thing. The second thing is we need to stop the bullshit. The sympathy, pobrecito, poor them. No, I'm done. There's no poor something if you have any more than, I don't know, 1 felony, maybe.
Yep.
Outside of, I don't know, weird circumstances. If you have 5 felonies, no, like, stop. I don't care about your sob stories. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
How many stories have we seen of some guy that eventually murders some poor woman who has been arrested like 40 times? Like 40 times.
Like I don't know. And here's the problem: there are way too many people in the United States for the numbers to ever get to a point where it becomes an actual numbers problem. But I don't know. Like, what is it going to take for people to realize, hey, maybe we should just start executing people faster?
I mean,
so does a person who goes to jail 40 times, does that person have to commit a massive crime where 1,000 people are gunned down or something? Like, does it have to be some crazy thing for us to realize, hey, maybe we should stop?
That brings to mind a post I saw on X earlier about a guy who received a certain amount of time in jail. He sought out a woman, purposely sought her out because of her child, wanted to rape the child, and kept trying to get the woman to leave the kid with him. And he got a certain amount of time in jail. It's like, I'm sorry, just kill that person. Just kill him. Just you have to just kill him. Just like if you try to rape a kid and it's like, it's not like, statutory or, like areas of gray that are in there. But if you're like purposely trying to like harm sexually a like 5-year-old, it's like, I'm sorry, you just have to die. I'm sorry. You just have to. That's it.
Look, if we lived in a just society, you wouldn't have YouTubers who chase down pedophiles with millions of views.
Alex Rosen. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't have people like that. I don't know who they are, but there's a bunch. I've seen at least 3 or 4 different groups of people do that, and I mean that's just because of sheer lack of will of law enforcement. Of do we want to go even further? Like, I'm sure some judges are in on this and things like that.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest gaps that we have in the United States. Hey, we need a check and balance on these judges, these people who I don't know, for a third of the day they spend their time in God mode.
Well, a bunch of them are overt activist judges. Maybe
they need a fucking nerf. Like, oh my God, I can't imagine. And here's the thing, I online I've known someone who works as a judge, and he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and I don't think he's an activist or anything like that. I really doubt it. He works, I think, in family court. But I mean, some of these judges that I see on online, or people that one judge who was shot by the sheriff a few months back or something like that had this whole crazy like a scandal and stuff like that. Like I said, if you are someone who for half of your waking hours you spend with unlimited power, something you just need to automatically have a CIA, like have someone like investigating you at all times.
Can I show you something that made me so angry that I have been having conversations out loud in my car for the past like 18 hours since this thing happened in this church in Minneapolis. Just like I've been talking to an invisible liberal progressive about all of the things that this is completely turned me upside down. Look at this image.
Okay. You know, I say the things that I say about like the pastor being soft and stuff like that. But if you're a dad and you're surrounded by even it's only a dozen of people who just want an excuse to beat you, what can you do except hug your kid?
Oh no, I mean like if I'm a dad in the situation, everything I'm doing is, even though I might want to literally smash their face in with a sledgehammer, everything I'm doing is in effort of de-escalation. Like you have to, right? Obviously, if it comes to it, then you defend your family physically, but everything you have to do is to like de-escalate and just protect your, but just them coming into this church and this little kid who's just there to hang out with his parents, doesn't even know what was happening. He has no understanding about politics, probably doesn't even know who Renee Good is. And they break into this church and make this little kid sob. Remember that guy who was screaming at those protesters and calling them fake Christians?
Uh-huh.
Here he is.
Yesterday, I went into a church with Nakima Armstrong and I protested these white supremacists. The pastor of the church is a fucking ICE leader in the city. How can you be a fucking pastor and be a fucking ICE agent? Fuck them. They want to come after me? Fuck them. How can they live so comfortably while the fucking people from Somalia that are in this country legally, that have fucking citizenship, can't even go to their mosque and pray? How do they deserve any fucking different? Fuck those fucking Nazis. Come and get me, Pam Bondi, you fucking traitorous bitch. All power to the people.
You know, it's like I want to take this guy, I want to catapult him to Cuba and just live stream
into the fucking sun, dude. Just right into the sun.
I want him to experience this power to the people communist bullshit that these assholes all talk about all the time. Like I hate how they take both of my country's histories and just carry it around like a skin suit, being like, we should all be leftists, we should all be communists, we should all do this. It's like, you know why all these freaking Hispanics are coming? Part of the reason because all these leftist pieces of trash governments that never stop.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just, apparently this guy is a former military man. I usually have respect for the military, but obviously not blindly, because there's a lot of shitheads that join it. But just look at him. Just look at him. It's crazy too, because like if you were to just look at him, and if he didn't have like a fuck Trump hat on, you would, like, based on stereotypes alone, you almost might say that he was like right wing. You know what I mean? He's got like the big beard. He kind of has like a right wing aesthetic, and yet he's a communist revolutionary instead. It actually looks like they actually might. It actually looks like they might be going after these people. Benny Johnson, Benny Johnson is just a. He's a goofy influencer.
Okay, I'm sorry. He looks like Bob Saget. Every time I look at Benny Johnson, I just get Bob Saget vibes all the time.
But so the DOJ announces intention. If this actually happens, this is one of the funniest things of all time. They've announced the intention to charge Don Lemon under the Ku Klux Klan Act. The KKK, imagine the first guy in decades to be charged under the KKK Act is a gay black man. It's the funniest thing in the world.
Parties really have flipped since then, man.
You think? The KKK Act makes it illegal to threaten, hurt, or intimidate people to prevent them from exercising their God-given rights. The Klan Act this is from Harmeet Dillon. Klan Act is one of the most important federal civil rights statutes. It's a law that makes it illegal to terrorize and violate the citizens' rights, the civil rights of citizens. Whenever people conspire this, the Klan Act can be used. If they have to do so, how often?
Scroll down to the comments. because I looked at this and I saw
Bugman Hagel. Bugman Hagel's the first one.
I looked, because we follow him, and I saw this and I was like, yes, bro, like that right now. What's wrong with you?
Please, God, let this happen because it would be so fucking fun.
Oh my God, it would be so hilarious.
It'd be the funniest thing in the world.
Oh my God.
Especially because Don Lemon has been crashing out about this, going on like all these leftist, like mainstream liberal leftist kind of podcast circuits, and talking about how like, oh, he didn't really participate in it, even though he showed up with coffee, was seen communicating with Keith Ellison, I believe the Attorney General of Minnesota, who also belongs in jail. And apparently there's also a video out there of him kissing the main female black protester on the cheek. So he very clearly conspired with these people that communicated with him, got him there so he can cover it as a quote unquote member of the press.
So what Don Lemon did, he invaded a service, and he basically got into someone's face, jammed a microphone in their face, and then got mad when the person touched him or whatever, pushed him or what it may be. Bro, what is wrong? These people have no respect for personal space or anything like that. These people are pieces of trash.
That's their entire right. Like they're I don't know if Don Lemon was, but leftist protesters and agitators are specifically trained to harass people as much as they can in order to elicit a response. So then the person that responds by shoving them or punching them in the face, then they're the one that gets in trouble and they have the bad optics. So, I mean, this is like leftist, communist, like agitation, like 101.
Right. But I mean, there's, oh God, I'm going to look for it, but there is this video of a guy with an American flag with a bunch of with one of the leftists trying to jam a megaphone in his ear or something, and it's like, using a sonic weapon against someone is definitely assault.
No. Somebody, apparently one of the parishioners.
Did we play that video in the past?
I don't think so, but one of the people who attended the church, apparently they actually had to go to the emergency room with hearing damage because of the loudspeakers and stuff they were using. So like they should not, like, if you're going to protest, I'm not in favor of protest, but I think it should be allowed. So like, go stand outside, do your thing. But this is not protest. This is agitation that borders on terrorism. And it just can't be allowed. If the Trump administration does not crack down on this and does not charge these people, I mean, a lot of those people are going to be charged, but they need to make a statement and charge Don Lemon. I cannot wait for the media to cover that. They're going to go full tilt. This is fascism. They're cracking down on journalists who are just trying to get to the truth. That's what they're going to do. And I love it when they do that because it's so irrational.
Dude, if that, it's crazy. I look at that sort of thing and I'm thinking that would never, ever happen in Florida.
No,
these
you can run people over,
immediately prosecuted and just gone.
And let's look at, I think I have it on the screen. Let's look at MSNBC. By the way, MSNBC, which is now called MS.now, because I guess NBC removed itself from MSNBC. I don't know what the hell it is. This site was actually down for a couple of days. I check this site every day because I love reading the headlines because they're ridiculous. Look at front page, nothing, absolutely nothing on what happened. Oh, look at that. Republicans paid protesters nonsense. Turns an ugly turn in Minnesota. That's what they have in Minnesota. Nothing on these people that went to this church. Now, imagine if some MAGA white guys went into a black church or a mosque. How might that be portrayed? But here we go. CNN does have Trump officials investigate protesters who interrupted Minnesota church service targeting ICE officials. So CNN does have it on their front page. So at least the people on the left at least if they read this, know that it's happening. But it's just a little small story, but it is at the top. But that's why it's always weird when I talk to people on the left and I talk about what's happening in the world. They never know what I'm talking about because I live on X and they live on their sites. The thing is, I read their sites. They don't read X. So I can describe their version of reality and my version of reality at the same time. They can't even begin to grasp my version of reality. They don't even know it exists. They just know that X is a place for evil white supremacists. That's all they know.
Okay, so there's this guy. I would imagine a counter protester. He is holding an American flag, and he's going to be surrounded by people on the left, or what it seems. And it says, "Fuck around and find out." And I guess we're gonna see what happens here.
Oh, I've seen this. This is great.
All right, so you have like. Hold on. That
That's
there,
like assault.
That is assault.
This is so funny.
And look, this man is clearly backing away. He just pushed the other guy's arm.
This dude is such a badass. Just wait.
He is so patient.
Yep. He's just trying to get away from him. Oh, wait, it gets way better.
It just out.
Oh, that guy falls back.
Is that a rape whistle?
I hope so.
Oh my god.
Here comes the best one.
Yeah, this is the best one.
Here we go. That's just the way he goes.
Guy.
Here we go. It's like a cartoon. Here we go.
Just ragdoll, just absolutely These people are such bastards,
and they're pussies.
They try to swarm this person and surround him because they're too pussy to actually attack him one-on-one. Because look what happens: you get one shot, like you're in a video game, like you're an extra in the freaking anime or something.
I'm usually like I don't like watching the violent stuff because it's like it's just like ugly, and I don't want them to fight. But like some of this stuff involving like the recent protests, it's been extreme. I've watched too much of it. Like that is seeing his legs go completely out and the lights in his eyes just go like it's especially because it's like a movie where he's like the initial agitator and the harasser, and then you think he's gone, and then he comes back in a frame, and then you just one shots him. It's poetry. It's poetry.
Yeah, you deserve to be clowned for the rest of your existence for that.
Oh, 100%. Hold on, let's go. So then we're back to this.
Oh wait, we're gonna go to Trump in Greenland. This is different.
No, this absolute demon's face. We're almost done here. And this also this is one of the things that really set me over the edge. This same thing in Minneapolis. These people are trying to go to church or they're leaving church.
Fuck you fucking traitor! How dare you have a rainbow fucking umbrella, you Nazi bitch! How dare you try to steal that from our people?
I love that too, especially because the gays stole it from the Christians because the rainbow used to be a Christian symbol because the rainbow is sent from God. So of course, that's just not true.
Fuck you, you Nazi traitor!
And apparently that man's just channeling some sort of demon.
You know what? You know what? I feel like just wearing rainbow clothes all the time with the words "God's promise" on it. I'm gonna go and make a shirt that says that, and I don't know, maybe put a freaking duck on it or something or whatever. But I'm going to go and when we're done here, I'm gonna go make a shirt that's just rainbowness, and it's gonna say God's promise. And
I'm actually gonna make 2 shirts for the podcast, and I don't have your address from when I sent you the PS5, so I'm gonna need you to give me your address again. I'm gonna send you a Limiting Principle podcast shirt. We need it.
You indoctrinate these children so you can fucking rape them. Isn't that what it is, you fucking asshole? Is that what it fucking is, man? You think you're gonna bring your kids here and we're gonna spare you while you fucking support?
Little kid screaming and swearing at him, screaming at the father that he's going to rape their. Imagine, like, I don't understand how they stay so cool. Like, I'm gonna have to explain to my kid why some guy is screaming about me raping. What am I gonna have to teach my kid what rape? Like, that's what That's why I didn't even want to make the episode, because I'm so angry that eventually I just stutter and I run out of words because all I want to do is smash things.
The bombing of children in Gaza, you get these fucking Nazi little bitches. Goddamn, be smarter than your parents. Your parents are fucking Nazis. You're such a Nazi little bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why do you think you can just destroy our nation? Why do you think you can bring back white supremacy? Why do you think you're better than everybody else? What the fuck is wrong with you assholes? Oh, it's funny, fucking Nazi piece of shit. What are you worshiping? You're fucking taking fucking whiskey shots with Hezgath. Be honest. Look at it. He laughed. He laughed because he knows it's true. You guys aren't fucking worshiping. Look at this bitch ass. You're worshiping. Look at this fucking little bitch ass American pin. Look at this little bitch ass kid. Look at him. Yes. Yeah, move on, you punk ass bitch. You will be judged not by a god.
I'm sorry, I do love that, because the optics of this is that you don't want like Christians fighting them in the streets, because it's just going to lead to horribleness, even though I do believe that Christians have to fight back. But the fact that he's saying all these horrible things about how they're rapists and Nazis, and he just goes, God bless you. I just, like, there's a time for fire or brimstone and like laying the hammer down on these pricks, but I just love that he did that, because he's like, yeah, I'm not going to stoop to your level, because what am I going to do? Fight you here in front of my kids? It's not going to achieve anything. Like, I want these people to be smashed into oblivion with legislation, and for the full force of the law to come down on them. That guy gains nothing by getting you in a fist fight with this prick here. I just love it.
By a court of law, you fucking Nazi fuck! You can't tell me to stop. This is the sidewalk. This is the First Amendment. You are preventing my First Amendment rights. I am protesting. You are preventing me from practicing my First Amendment rights. You are violating the Constitution. You little bitch ass. What's your fucking excuse? I'm not near him.
You don't have to be that close.
Look at this little bitch putting his hands on me. Little punk ass bitch. All right, what's your fucking excuse? Why do you fucking go to a church that preaches? No, we know. What about the nationalism? What about the Christian nationalism? What is it about?
Is that all you got to say?
No, what is it about?
That's all you got to
What
say.
is it about, asshole?
I don't need to discuss
See, you won't defend yourself because you're a punk ass little bitch fucking Nazi. Fuck you, you fucking Nazi fucking piece of shit. Shame on you. You think you're fucking superior than people? You ain't shit, bitch. You ain't fucking shit. You ain't nothing but a fucking cowardly fucking traitor. Look at these spineless little bitches.
Don Lemon goes into this church, leftist agitators, children are crying, people are running out of the church. This is what Don Lemon has to say about that as he watches children exiting the church.
Watch this guy here, look, he's hugging his kid. And, you know, I've imagined it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. But again, careful, it's very slippery right here. Yeah. It's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here, but that's what really, careful, please, really slippery. Not kidding. That's what protesting is about. And so
yeah, protesting is about invading a church on a Sunday and making children cry and sad and make them feel uncomfortable. It's just like when Black people used to peacefully sit in white-only restaurants. It's the exact same thing, right? It's the exact same thing.
So people should protest in front of his house. They should find where people should find where Don Lemon is and just protest outside of his house. If we're going to play the game of brinksmanship, of being an asshole, then okay, let's be assholes. And here's the thing: for people like them, it's par for the course. They protest in front of Justice Kavanaugh's house, and at least one of these people was caught with, kidnapping materials and tools to try to kidnap a soon-to-be sitting Supreme Court justice. Like, these people are unhinged. They're out of control.
Yep. What I would like to do is for them to monitor Don Lemon, wait until he's sodomizing his husband, and then go into his house and bring him out in his gimp suit. I want mass.
This is where I'm more libertarian than you are.
Well, I just want that. I want him to be humiliated in the worst way possible.
No, but like he probably like that sort of thing anyways. I mean, these people are perverted. So no, I don't want to do anything like that.
I'm so irrationally angry. So I'm concerned as to where this is headed, and I am slightly terrified that this might be where it's headed.
Watch the video, start making arrests. I mean, it's really that simple. Start making arrests right now. Let me tell you something here, folks. We're getting very close to a situation where if law enforcement does not step in and put a stop to this nonsense, you're going to see law-abiding citizens stepping up and saying, if the government's not going to protect our families, if the government's not going to protect our businesses, if the government's not going to protect our churches, we're going to do it ourselves. We are getting very, very close to the tipping point in America. So, look, it's a lot to think about. We're going to talk a lot about it on the show today. I hope you join us noon Eastern, noon to 3 Eastern, the Todd Stern Show. Then 5 o'clock, we're going to be talking to the president of the Southern Baptist Convention on our Newsmax show later today. All right, going to leave it there. Folks, check out Todd Stern's.
Yeah. So it's really funny because James Lindsay is freaking out about this because he hates the Southern Baptist Church Convention, whatever the hell it's called, because a lot of the people that he calls the woke right are involved in that. So him and Michael O'Fallon are like, what are the odds that the leftists would target the Southern Baptist Convention in order to create a dialectical response to cause a civil war?
So what's wrong with what he said?
No, I like what he said. And it's just like, you know, if you start having citizens, and again, if it's not enforced, if these people are not brought to justice, if they don't crack down on what's happening in Minneapolis, it may very well lead to people taking the law into their own hands. And I don't necessarily oppose that, but it is a scary situation to the point where it's like, at what point do you call it civil war?
That's
warring gangs of.
That's what the state of Minnesota wants. The state of Minnesota wants to see, just going back to the teacher analogy, the state of Minnesota wants to see these churchgoers, these white people, these Nazis that they're implicitly labeled, to react and to quote unquote defend themselves and then drop the hammer on these people. So, you know, that's part of federalism. That's I would imagine the state government's incentive, because obviously they're not arresting or doing anything to the leftist protesters who are clearly breaking the law by impeding law enforcement and things like that. So, but here's the problem. The problem with the Insurrection Act is it has a debuff. It removes all of your political capital. Like, that's what it does. That's a last resort button kind of thing, because at that point you're saying, all right, so now we're going to hurt you if you go against us. Like, we're going to physically hurt you. And remember, these are people who think that the federals are Gestapo. If you suddenly say, hey, federals, now you're unleashed, is only going to play into what they want. Because I was thinking about this. You have to understand something. To the average normal person who goes to work, maybe has how many hours a day do they really have to look at these events? 1 hour at the most, maybe. You know, they should be responsible and raise their kids and stuff like that. And you know, but point is, they don't have a lot of time. So when the average person looks at what happened to Renee Good and they see a man dome a woman with 3 shots, they're not going to look at maybe the second or third or fourth camera angle. They're not going to look at hospitalization, if the police officer went to the hospital because he had internal injuries or not. They're not going to look at those things. They're only going to look at the initial story and process how it makes them feel. Obviously, a man committing violence on a woman is bad, and there's something that's getting twisted here. When an American sees people in other countries protest, it's always mentioned to us like, oh my God, look at these people who just want freedom and they're all good and the police are bad. So the people take that, the leftists take that idea, and then they put that on themselves. They're like, oh, well, we're the same thing. Just like people in Iran and Iran are protesting against their evil fascist government, we're protesting against our evil fascist government. And remember, the thing that always brings down these governments is when the security forces start attacking the citizens. So these people, what they want is for that to happen. Obviously, they don't want to be the citizens who gets hurt or dies, but that's what they want to see. So they're trying to bait the security for the federal law enforcement into doing that, because they think that they will be seen just like the the protesters all over the world who just want freedom in Venezuela, in Iran, or stuff like that. That's the game they're trying to play. So how do you defeat that? How do you counter that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like you said, I mean, it's just going to further. It's just crazy though, because no matter what you do,
Martin Bailey kind of fucking game that is being played.
No matter what you do, it's just going to create further polarization. But you have to get to a certain point where it's like you look at it and it's like either way, the optics are not going to be good for the people that believe the left are the good guys. So like either way, you're fascist.
Because just like students in a classroom, if you have a group of students that do something that disrupts a classroom and the teacher doesn't do anything about it, then all you're saying to the students is you can continue doing that and not get in trouble. So now you have leftists entering church services. Okay, if the state government or the federal government doesn't do anything about that, now you're going to have all the churches being entered. That's going to happen a lot more. It's going to be seen as normal, and you have to respect the diversity of tactics.
And it goes back to, honestly, like a lot of this can be traced back to like Herbert Marcuse. I think he's often known as the father of the New Left. His concept of liberating tolerance, concept developed by Marcuse, argues for an active intolerance towards oppressive ideologies like fascism and racism. And how does the left paint the right as fascist and racist? An active tolerance towards progressive liberation focused movements, particularly from the left, to achieve true freedom for all, rather than a repressive tolerance that passively accepts all speech, including that which reinforces domination. So, I mean, like, if you talk to the majority of the people on the left, none of them have any idea who Herbert Marcuse is. And yet his teachings are so ingrained into leftist activism and politics that they believe they act out and view the world through his lens without even realizing that the dude exists. Like, how do you like that? That's what's crazy about the left, is that they've controlled things for so long and have run the show and taken over basically everything, that you have these insane ideas that these people are trained to believe without even actually realizing that the ideas exist. How do you know that you've been programmed and brainwashed if you don't even know about the ideas that led to your programming and brainwashing? How do you overcome such a thing? You have to like, for me, it was a friend who kept sending me videos of Tim Pool, and I would watch them out of spite, slowly but surely listen to Tim Pool. Then I sought out information, finally got myself out of it. But majority of people don't have that kind of person who will do that, especially when you have such a intolerant ideology as the modern day left. Like, that's what you're up against. That's what you're up against. The ideology that people don't even understand what the ideology is and where it comes from. It's really hard for the modern leftists. Like, when I talk to like some progressives, and I speak in terms of like pop culture references in Star Wars, and I'm like, the left is the Empire from Star Wars, and yet they've somehow convinced themselves that they're like Luke Skywalker, that they are the rebels, when in fact it's the complete opposite. And I guess that's why they use all the quote unquote marginalized groups, because of what's happened in the past. So you could just push for their supposed liberation, but they're actually making everybody's lives like materially worse.
There's one thing I want to share, and because what we still have not reached a solution. The only solutions that we have to these like malignant leftists is that we're going to have a low trust society. Mm-hmm. And that's not a solution. That's just a consequence of what these people are doing. We're just not going to trust people as much in the future. Like, that's just plain and simple what's going to happen. And I really think this whole leftist, this whole gay race communism is simply a lack of acceptance, the refusal to understand that this meme is real. I love this meme. This is one of the greatest memes in the entire world.
Hold on, let me bring up the meme. Let's finish with the meme.
Yeah.
It really is.
This is the greatest meme in the world, because it is the most true. And that last panel, I get that every day. Like, I'm just like, oh fuck, I have to go to work. I have to tease these dumb kids. I have to do all this. It's like, yes, that's what you have to do. You have to work to make money. And every single person on the left is basically that crying man and saying, I'm going to do everything I can to not do the
And
W.
the thing is, like, these people like conflate meaning and sense of purpose with work. Yeah, it would be cool if we could do this full time and make podcasts and make money off of it and get rich off of it. That'd be great. But it's like, if you're looking for purpose just through work, even if you're doing something fun, like, you're never going to find it there. There's always going to be a type of like vacuous, like emptiness that is going to be there. You find meaning through some purpose through that, but through family, finding loved ones, if you believe in God, worshiping God, like, that's how you find meaning. To finish it off, we're going to have a ongoing series called Elephant Watch. According to TMC, a killer elephant who is at large has left a total of 22 people dead over a 10-day period in India. And here's some footage of
The thing, we're going to start watching killer elephants. Yo, holy.
You see that?
Oh, you have to
Watch it. Oh my gosh. I'm going to follow this story. And the sad thing is that I feel as if once they find the elephant, they're going to put the elephant down. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like the humans, deep down, I view myself as a shitlib deep down. And I'm very much an animals. Right? Ideally, I would stop eating meat. And the only reason I'd stop eating meat is because of factory farming. I view it as extremely evil. Farmer has cows, chickens, free range. He kills them painlessly. It's sad because if you actually spend time with cows, they're like hilarious, giant, fat, slurpy dogs. But the cycle of life, et cetera, et cetera. But I do hope that the elephant gets away. I don't want anyone else to die, but I do hope the elephant gets away at the end of the day.
Inner PETA comes out, and I'm just like, not the elephant doesn't need to be put down. The people need to be put down for her.
Oh my gosh. I'm just saying, like,
Of course, I obviously don't believe that, and that's just a horrible evil. Obviously, I'm just joking.
What we need are some bleeding heart libs to go to India and extract the elephant and then just put it on some reservation, some thing. That's what needs to happen.
Yeah, like animals have this. Most animals have this, the lack of malice.
Yeah.
That's. I don't want to go too far. Purity or some bullshit. Lack of malice. Wolves got to eat, man.
They're just animals, and
bears got to eat.
Most of the time when something goes wrong with animals and humans, it's because humans are fucking stupid and they fuck with animals in the wrong way. Free Harambe. Harambe would not have killed that kid. He would have loved that kid. Okay.
I fully buy that everything started going wrong after Harambe perished.
It really did. Is the first domino to fall. That's what led to Trump, honestly. Anyways, that's all we got. Have a good one. Take care.
That's a wrap. Okay.
And fuck down lemon. Fuck down lemon.
The limited printing ground to be a retard.